daunting. And so we wanted to kind of walk everybody through that. If you will stand, let's all say the expansion prayer together, and then we'll get started with our meeting. Heavenly Father,
we thank you for blessing our St. Lawrence family. We come to you with grateful hearts, asking for your guidance in all the details of this expansion. Remind us to seek you first before every decision is made. Give us a spirit of unity and generous hearts. Direct us to build up your church, staying rooted in the truth. Expand these walls so that they may honor you and bring others to know you and love you. We ask these things in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
All right. All right, so big things are happening this week here at St. Lawrence. On Wednesday of this week, there's going to be two 40-foot Connex containers be delivered. They're going to be placed on the back 40 right next to where the smoker is back there by the back parking lot. And I'll show you a picture of these in just a minute. On Thursday and Friday, the construction folks, RJM contractors, they're bringing crews to come and move everything out of this building. They're going to start with all the heaviest items first. That stainless steel table in the kitchen, that 3 sink stainless steel contraption in the kitchen, all the tables, all the chairs, all the heavy stuff. They're going to have their crew working Thursday and Friday. As I said in church, on Saturday, if you can give us any amount of time, we need all hands on deck because we're going to try to get everything out of this building by this Saturday. So the goal is Saturday, the building, everything that we want to keep is still here. Next Sunday's Mother's Day. We're going to celebrate Mother's Day out here, hopefully, just like we have in the past. Same type of event. Sylvester with his braided beard is going to be here playing sax. It's going to be fun. It's going to be the same type of event that we had in the past. We rented tables and chairs for this because ours are going to be put in the storage boxes by then, and we can move them back inside if it's raining. It's rained a couple years on Mother's Day, so we've got a contingency plan there. And then on 1 week from tomorrow, Monday the 12th, demolition of this building begins. To remind you, this is a complete gut, and then in a few weeks, right after Lauren Early's wedding, Pip's here, all right. Then they're going to cut the building in half, and then it's going to be completely open, and they're going to build out footers and all that to go out that way, and there's going to be like a big cut through that's put in place right after that. So Monday, May 12th, a week from tomorrow is when the demolition begins. And what everybody needs to know is this building is going to be shut down for 6 months. That's what they estimate that they need to completely renovate this building. And what that means is it's going to be completely unavailable for all of the activities that we do here 7 days a week. So we're going to come back to that and about how we keep the ministries going and what the plan is for that in a minute. But I'm going to turn this over to Kathy now and kind of walk us through what the plan is on, or you want me to do this? Yep. Of how we're going to get out of this building. That's what the boxes look like. It's like a shipping container. There'll be 2 of them. They're 40-foot long by 8-foot wide. We are really hoping that all the stuff from this building fits in 2 of those, but we've got a 3rd one on order just in case we need it.
Okay, so I'm going to say moving, and I want to hear a great big groan. Moving. Now I'm going to say new parish hall and new building, and I want to hear a lot of clapping. Okay, so really that's what this is about, and hopefully I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I've done, because that first thing says a lot has already been packed. A lot of it has been packed. It's been color coded. It's been by ministry. Like all the kitchen stuff is one color, all of the ladies' Sunday school is one color, so that when it goes in the containers, we know it's all gonna be together in one spot. So if we have to get something, we're gonna be able to go in there and find it. I have a list of everything in every box now that, is numbered. So if you tell me you need box 12 and it's yellow, I'm gonna look for box 12 and it's yellow. So that's kind of how that is. A lot of stuff was donated to Grace. We had a lot of stuff that was gently and well used. And we had many, many duplicates of those things. So we tried to get rid of those things so that we had more room in our new parish hall. And it was just a little pared down. We had about 40 years of stuff in the kitchen. So just so you know, if it's anything like my kitchen, you know, have to get rid of things every now and then. So a lot of stuff that was broken, chipped, that kind of thing is gone. Because we don't need broken and chipped things anymore, so we took care of that. On Wednesday, I'm gonna go in those Connex containers and I'm gonna tape off spots so that we can know when we're moving things. Those things will go in a certain place. I'll put the color up of the dot that's on that box so that we can do that. Hopefully, in theory, that's the way it's gonna work, but we all know, you know, what a theory's like. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. That's why we need lots of hands. We need lots of hands to help us make sure that we can get that in. The boxes, like I said, are being cataloged, so we have an inventory of what we have put in those boxes. Or if they've gone somewhere else, it's on that inventory as well, so I know where things are. Questions about any of that?
Are the boxes gonna be, are the containers gonna be stored here on the side, or?
Yeah, they're right back, they're back where the smokers are, where we do St. Lawrence Day. They're back where the guys cook the brisket. So they're right back there. Some of the items, we have long-term items that are gonna be stored, and we have short-term items. So the short-term items are 6 months. The long-term items are when the new building opens over there. All of the kitchen stuff that we have in there is a long-term item. We will not need it because we don't have a kitchen. So it's gonna be long-term. So that's kind of an example of what that is. St. Lawrence Day things are short-term because we have that in August. So we need to be able to get to that. So hopefully, the way we store it in those Connex containers makes it easy to get those things that are short-term. There's a lot more things that have to be done. There's been a lot that we've done, but there's still a lot more that has to be done. Those whiteboards have to come off the walls. All of the shelving that we have that is, you know, on the wire things needs to come down. There is still some packing to be done. Let's see, what else? Oh, the AV stuff has to come down. The pictures in here will have to come down. So that stuff is all gonna happen this week as well. The security cameras and equipment will be removed. Everything's gonna be off the walls. The panic bars on the doors, and those things are gonna be moved to the music room. Everything that we have here, like PDO, the Sunday school, those things are gonna be in the music room. All of our events are gonna be in the music building. The TVs will be on. I'm sorry. I know, that's a bummer. Not at So, the nursery will be over there, so on Thursday and Friday, we're gonna be moving that kind of furniture over to the music building and reorienting those rooms that are over there. This is gonna be a tight shared space for a while, but you know what? I don't know any group that can do it any better than this group. So, I know that that's gonna be okay. Like, Father John said, the RJM crew is gonna move the heaviest things, so we have a lot of heavy things here. And so, you know, I need help. We need your help on Saturday. I need hands, and I need muscle, and I just need encouraging words. And we need to be encouraging to each other. It's hard. Anytime it's a move, we've all been through moves. You know that sometimes it's very, very hard. Sometimes you get a little irritated with somebody. But I want you to keep love in your heart. I have a lot of love in my heart. You know, in that prayer where it said that you ask God when the decisions are being made. I've been asking a lot of decisions here. I just want you to know. So know that it's been done with love in our hearts. We're hoping that we get a lot done on Thursday and Friday, so there's not as much to do on Saturday. So the more people we have on Saturday, the quicker it's gonna go, and the sooner we can all be done and celebrate the fact that we're moving on to the next step in this. Coffee and breakfast will start at 8 a.m. And then we're gonna have an organization meeting, and I'm gonna break people up into groups. I have some people that are gonna be leads that will help that group, that team. We're gonna work in teams to do certain things. And then we're gonna get underway, and we're gonna work until we're done. The trash will be taken care of by RJM after. We can just leave it in here. They're gonna have a big dumpster that they're gonna put everything in as trash. It doesn't matter how much time you come for. You can come for an hour, you can come for 20 minutes. Just need the help, please. There are other jobs other than lifting boxes, so when we're setting up the things over in the music building, there are people that can help set that up and get it in an order that is usable for us, because it's a quick turnaround, because we'll be using that the next week. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Kathy has been here almost every day for the last month or so prepping this. So everybody give her a big old bear hug. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy is going to be the quarterback on Saturday. So if you're here and you're like, I want to help out, but I don't know what to do, she'll put you in the right place. Just to underline the last point there, if you're like, I'm not a big carrying boxes to new places building, like to new buildings, if you're not a big person on carrying boxes, there are some other jobs that we are going to need help with on Saturday. So just to underline that, if you're like, I'm moving, I've moved a lot of times in my life, I'm good. Like decorating might be your thing, and we're going to have a whole new space for a nursery that needs to get decorated next Saturday. So some other types of jobs are going to be there. All right, so during the shutdown, what we want to do to the highest level possible is we want all of our ministries to continue on a normal trajectory as they normally would, even with a greatly reduced amount of space. So that's going to be the really challenging part. It's not going to be easy. Now we talked about, we just punt and shut everything down for 6 months and not try to do all the things that we normally do, but that didn't seem like a very good alternative to us. So we're going to try to be doing something really hard, which is keeping all of the ministries that we have going that normally operate out of this physical space. We're going to try to keep those going in other areas, and that is going to be an exercise in creativity, and it's going to require a lot of patience, support, and love. During this time, we only have 3 buildings left, okay? With this building completely out of the picture for the next 6 months, we've got the church, we've got the music building, and we've got the Parish parish office. And those are the spaces that are going to be utilized incredibly heavily as we try to keep the ministries going. We have a spreadsheet with 63 different ministries that we have organized and where everything is going to go. We spent at the vestry staff planning day in February, 4 or 5 hours walking through exactly how we would do this, all right? So it's a lot of balls up in the air that we're trying to juggle. But again, the alternative was just punting and shutting it all down and saying, we'll see you in November and you can come to Mass and nothing else. And we just didn't think that was really the right way to do this. So this is going to be harder than that. And it's going to require a lot more creativity, but we think it's worth it to keep the normal pattern of study groups and prayer groups and fellowship groups going, the children's ministry, all the rest of it. Nothing's going to miss a day that it would normally have met were we to have had this building. Okay, so that was a priority we set together several months ago. Current parish hall will be remodeled. Okay, so the other wrinkle on this is this building is going to be back open about 6 months from now, before the new building's open. So it isn't going to be until basically March, if we're lucky at this point, March of 2026, that we're going to be entirely open with the whole thing coming together, okay? Because we're delayed, 6-7 weeks, something like that right now, based on the January timetable that we gave everybody a few months back. So we had this building open sooner. This one is now open by Thanksgiving, back open and remodeled around Thanksgiving, and that one around Easter of next year. Okay, so the whole project's completed sometime, hopefully, we are saying our prayers by Easter of next year. The music building, okay, so you heard this already. The music building on the classroom side will become the nursery. And it will remain in operation until this building's back open. The space on this end of the building, basically from where Carrie is standing and where this is the new nursery in the newly remodeled building. But until this building's back open, the nursery is going to operate out of the music building. It needs to be ready to go by next Sunday. So that's where we're going to be working on Saturday, try to get all the stuff moved over there and try to get it decorated and ready to go. Parents Day Out, Children's Chapel, a number of other ministries will run from the music building. If that sounds hard to you, it is going to be hard. It's going to be a real challenge to do that in addition to all the stuff that already happens in the music building until this building's back open. The parish office, we're turning back the clock. Some of you have been here for a while. Remember a time when coffee hour was in the parish office? Anybody remember that? Somebody been around a few minutes? Well, we're turning back the clock, guys. Going back to the old days of St. Lawrence, because there wasn't anywhere else really for us to have coffee hour. You might see some coffee hour, coffee stuff happening out front of the church too if the days are nice. And then Sunday school classes, VBS is going to be an interesting challenge this summer. You'll see all kinds of work, basically every available space people are going to be going into to try to keep the ministries going. Okay, so this is going to be a lot heavier usage in music and in the office and in the church than what we normally have. We met with the ministry leaders. Well, so the vestry and staff started planning this back in February. We met with the ministry leaders, when was that, Kathy? About a month ago, 6 weeks ago. We're trying to stay in close touch with all the ministry leaders just to make sure that everything's going okay. So this is going to be a challenge when we try to keep ministries going. We don't have a great space to do it. And so we're going to keep adjusting as things go over the 6 months, and we'll make a new plan, and we'll try to figure it out together, collaborate with everyone as the months unfold. We're going to be rubbing elbows and sharing. Sharing's a thing that we teach the kids in Parents Day Out, and we're going to be remembering all those lessons over the next 6 months. This might be really challenging at times, okay? Because something that you count, like you've gone to church here for 2 decades and it's always functioned one way, and it's about to function in a different way. next 6 months. And that is not going to be everybody's favorite reality, me included, but it's what we're going to have to do. When adult Sunday school starts back up, normally that meets in this building. Well, this building's going to be shut down. So like an example is the only place for us left to do it is in the church, and also the choir has to warm up in the church, right? So we're going to be sharing spaces, and things might be abbreviated in a way that they aren't currently. So briefer times while we're trying to have two things happen in the same space, if that makes sense. So it's going to be a little different for the next stretch here as we're trying to share spaces. The time between services is going to be really fun, all right? That's when everybody is here on the property now, and you can look around the room, and we got, what, 40 people standing up currently in the room? So this is going to be fun when we have 6,000 less square feet, which is this building, all right? So I'm trying to put this in everybody's brains that it's going to be a squeeze for 6 months. So please be patient and be loving, and Christian love and charity are going to be needed. I'm just going to dwell on this for a minute, linger, lots of Christian love and charity needed. And then of course some groups are already saying, hey, we can meet off campus, and that is fantastic. We think that that works for some groups that normally meet on campus that meet off campus. So and there's time for any questions that you want, but just to underline, like, the next 6 months, it's going to be very exciting to see all the progress. It's also going to put a squeeze on us a little bit. So I want everybody to kind of like eyes wide open. We knew this was going to be a tough little stretch for us, but we can persevere and make it through. We've got the expansion godfather here. If you guys want to ask any questions about the expansion, and ask any questions about the move out, Kathy is here. So who has something they want to ask about? Mark.
I'm wondering about those 2 containers they're bringing in this week. Are they going to block parking spaces in that back lot?
No, they're going to be placed on the grass where the smoker is. Just there's the parking lot, and then there's like where that volleyball thing was briefly, and then there's a little grass area back there where the smoker is tucked back there, right by the edge of the property line to the east, and that's where they're going to be put back there. So they're going to be tucked back behind like a little thing of brush, basically wood back there. So they're not going to block any parking spaces because we already have a parking situation going on here since we lost this parking lot. The parking lot's going to be, well, it was going to be open back in July. I don't know if that's pushed back too, but hopefully the new parking lot will be open by July. Who else has a question? Mike?
So I just wanted to share that on Saturday next, the corner where Lisa and Kim are standing is going to have a bunch of stuff staged for Mother's Day. Yes, I'm going to stage stuff back there for Mother's Day, and I please don't want it moved. So, and if you're a man and cannot help on Saturday and would like to help on Sunday, I'd certainly be open to some volunteers still.
They're arguing. Okay, we started out.
Okay, who else has a question? Reggie?
So the boxes will be in the back parking lot with the containers, but you're moving the boxes from here all the way up there?
So the RJM guys are going to have their pickup trucks with flatbed trailers here, so they're just going to be staged right here. So we got to get it out of the building and onto the trailer, and the trailer over. The reason for that is, I was like, why can't they just put the box right here? We load it here. Well, their insurance won't allow them to move it once it is full of stuff, right? Now you can rent a pod and they'll move it, but that is literally, what, 20 times more expensive than these boxes. So this is not the ideal way. It's like moving it here and then moving it again, but it's the way that we can come up with to do it. So there'll be trailers right here, loaded on the trailers, and again, hopefully they're going to have a crew of, what, 5 or 6 guys on Thursday and Friday, working all day Thursday and all day Friday, moving stuff. So hopefully they'll get a lot done by the time people show up on Saturday morning. But if you can show up on Saturday morning, that would be awesome. Who else has a question? Sue?
Question
close on that. There was one item, I talked to the director of planning yesterday, Dennis Killo. He called me, and there's one item they were worried about. So they look at every little thing, you guys, I mean, everything. They're worried about the fire retardant on one little area of the Parish Hall, and they were gonna call the fire marshal and hopefully talk him off the ledge. So maybe tomorrow, or maybe sometime. They understand the deadline, like that Friday, we need to have this building permit by Friday of this week. So they understand that, and they've assured me, hey, we're gonna get it.
So where is his office? We could all go there and pray around the office and say, please, please.
They are, the mayor of Southlake, I was with him at the National Day of Prayer on Thursday, and he said, please don't have your church unelected. So, he said, well, building permit in hand, we're good to go. All right, who has a question on all of this? Okay, so everybody kind of is in the know now on the sequence of events. And then, you know, as groups start getting pushed into different areas and as it gets challenging, please talk with us. Like if it's hard and we can't figure out how to run your ministry and it's not working, no one wants it to be that way. That is not the goal of anyone on the leadership team, is to create hardship for anybody. So if it's not working, talk with somebody so that we can make a plan to make it work. We may not have a great space for you, but we'll give you any space that we can to try to support all of you, because so many of you do ministry around here, and it's so appreciated. So thank you for that, and just know, like, our goal of creating pushing groups into different spaces is not to ruin anything. It's to really to try to keep us going. Okay, so as things get hard, please talk with us, and we can make a new plan, make a different plan. Carl, anybody? If you have questions for Carl on what exactly is happening, just the quick update is they're installing the utilities to the site over the last couple weeks, putting in drainage, sewer, water, all of that is happening at the moment. But if you have further questions on what's going on.
So, if you haven't picked up on it, the team is very anxious about a lot of people being stressed over the next 6 months. That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
If you are, maybe you can remember the wisdom of a brilliant little 5-year-old when you're stressed out about what's going on at your church, not at my house.
That's true, right? Nothing's happening on your own.
So I think we can keep that in mind, and maybe everybody will sail through this pretty smoothly.
Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you again, Kathy. Please, if you can on Saturday, support Kathy and help out any way you can. Thank you, guys.